right, now we're going to do another one. This is lots of activities, at least in the beginning. So now we're going to do what's called a progressive muscle relaxation exercise. There's no breathing to this one. Well, you should breathe while you're doing it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with tensing the feet for about 20 seconds. Then you tense and release. And then you move up to the next muscle group. So you add the calves and the feet, and then you tense and release. And the tensing is about, like I said, 20 seconds, and then the release should be a little bit longer, probably about 30 to 40 seconds. Then we're going to add the thighs and the feet, the thighs, calves, and feet. So you just keep going up one muscle group as you go through. And I won't do this whole thing because when you get done, you're going to have, your hair tensed. And people tend to not like, in a big group like this, to be making faces like, to tense all the muscles in their face. So we'll just go from like the feet, maybe up to the thighs, and then stop. I know. The other thing would be, I'd have to say, tense your buttocks now. We don't want that on the... Oops. It's on the video anyway. So we continue until the whole body is tensed, and then we release. All right, so ready to try this one? You can do this with your shoes on or your shoes off, either one. Depends on, will your neighbors be upset with the smell from your shoes. So again, kind of put myself in a position. This is easier to do laying down, but you can do it seated. Standing is kind of hard. So you're going to tense your feet. Here, nobody's close to me, so I'll take my foot off as an example. So you're going to tense your feet. And relax. Now we're going to try and tense the calf muscle. So you'll feel a little bit here, and then the foot. Keep it tensed and relax. You'll probably notice that you tend to hold your breath while you're tensing, and then you'll breathe out as you stop. So now I'm going to do the thigh, the calf, and the foot. And release. If you have trouble sleeping at night, falling asleep, you might try doing this progressive muscle relaxation exercise followed by the breathing technique, or vice versa. Do the breathing technique first, then do this. And I think once you get done having tensed every muscle in your body for 15 to 20 seconds and you let go, you'll be ready to let go. You'll also have stopped those little demon voices from talking to you and saying, what do you got to do tomorrow? Don't forget to do this. Don't forget to do that. Okay? Any questions on the progressive muscle relaxation? Other things you can do instead of that: yoga, basic stretching activities, anything that's going to elongate the muscle, cause you to have a physical release is going to be good. Time management. I put this under a thing to do because it's actually a behavior. Unlike money, time is never really saved, it's always spent. So the first thing you need to do in figuring out how to manage your time is to figure out how you're spending it. So getting out a nice long list and filling it in 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10. What did I do today? Or as I'm doing things today, know how I spent my time. One thing is it might surprise you how much time you actually do have that you're filling with things to do, like maybe television or reading the paper or who knows what. And then it allows you to prioritize the wants and the needs that you have. What do I need to get done? What do I want to get done? What am I not getting done? And reorganize some of that time. And then get your life organized as well. And using organizers is a whole lot easier now today. What stops most people, or many people, from managing their time is the perception that it takes more time to get organized than I'm going to save once I get organized. Anybody thought that before? Oh, there's just too much to do. I can't get organized. I don't want to do it. But once you're there, staying organized is so much easier to do. This guy reminded me of the guy from the Dirty Jobs. I don't know what job he's got, but he's doing all of this at the same time. But dog-sitting photographer, computer repairman. And using time management tools, choose the ones that you know that you're going to use. Don't go out and buy something, this newfangled instrument, if you don't know how to use it and you don't think you'd actually carry it around. Whatever you choose to use, make sure that you try and make it a habit and use it for at least 12 weeks. Use it every day, even those days when you're not pressed for time. We've got all kinds of gadgets now, cell phone applications. I didn't even know my cell phone had a calendar in it. I knew I had a clock, but I didn't know I had a calendar. And I could put stuff in there and it'll actually remind me of things that I need to do. I still don't use it. I've got too many other calendars out there. I use my computer calendar here at work. I use one at home. I use one for my private practice, and I can't seem to get them all synced together. PDA smartphones and the old-fashioned paper day planners. And I come down to this comment down below, are we overmanaged or are we overcommitted? Because what happens a lot of times is once we start to manage our time and we see that we can move things around or prioritize them differently, and we see that we have time in there, instead of using that time for stress management and taking care of ourselves, we put more stuff in there. Oh, well, if I do this today, I don't have to do it tomorrow. And you just keep making more and more commitments. So learning to say no is a good time management tool. Multitasking is also good to a point. If you can wash a load of laundry while you're doing dishes or something like that, that's great. But again, resist the urge to fill in the blanks in your schedule with more work. And sometimes it's really great to experience doing a simple task really, really well. Mowing the lawn, gardening, crocheting, those are all relatively simple tasks that don't take a lot of energy or effort. Revel in how much fun it is to do it. It's so easy. And then take pride in doing it very well. That's one of the best ways to get motivated, is to do a very simple, small thing initially first, and guide that feeling of accomplishment to start to make it a little more risky each time. Mind emphasis, changing how we think. I like to use the analogy of the mind being like a garden. If you keep planting weeds, you're not going to harvest any fruit. And negative thoughts are basically weeds. They eat up energy and resources, and they don't produce anything. So we have negative, catastrophic, pessimistic thoughts leading to feelings of sadness and hurt and anger and distress. You can calm your mind through mental distraction using some of those behavioral techniques earlier. Some really simple mental distraction techniques is things like, well, these ceiling tiles don't have holes, but counting the holes in the ceiling tile, or looking for patterns in the carpet, trying to imagine that you see images or something.